Okay, guys. As we know, Five Nights at Freddy's free. He's free. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 confirmed two things. The purple guy we saw in the minigames was the killer of, at the least, 5 kids, quite possibly more. I have my theory that there might have been a second person using one of the suits. We also know that there were 2 yellow suits, and I think they were yellow because it was to indicate they were the special suits that humans could wear, aside from putting them on a skeleton. And the suits were a Golden Freddy and a Golden Bonnie. Or yellow, I think, is what they probably would have used, but people call them golden, they're golden. The Golden Freddy suit we'd seen before because he popped up in 1 and 2. He was an Easter egg. I don't think he pops up in 3. Or if he does, he's kind of a walking, shambling zombie corpse now as a phantom. Which, wow, Chica looked better in 2 than Freddy did in 3. Ooh. Gears have not been kind to these animatronics. That said, we also know that the Spring Bonnie suit was faulty, in that if you moved, breathed, or got a little bit wet, it would spring into a normal animatronic suit and kill you instantly, essentially, while you were inside the suit. Okay, we also know that the purple guy, to escape the ghosts of the children, supposedly, or for whatever reason, went into the Golden Bonnie suit and it killed him. Now, the minigame says he was trying to escape the ghosts of the children, but I think it's a little. I think that's just metaphorical to let you know that he died in the suit. Here's what I think happened. Okay, we have to go back though in time in the Freddy universe to around before 1987, when the suits were first started being used. Remember, I said there were 2 suits, so there had to be 2 actors. Now, it is possible that the purple guy was doing double duty because the company is cheap, as an actor and as a security guard. And his partner was the person in the Golden Freddy suit. So I do have a theory, because I'm pretty sure that they probably made all of Freddy Fazbear's listen to those tapes because of the safety risk with the Spring Bonnie suit, instead of just making people listen to it, instead of fixing it, I mean. So everyone knew the risk of the Spring Bonnie suit when it popped up. They also mention an accident that happened with the suit later on. Okay. In between that, we hear about somebody who was luring away kids in a yellow suit. And we don't really see the Spring Bonnie suit except in a shadow. But we do see the Golden Freddy suit around that time. We start seeing it. Which means in the timeline of the game, not in the timeline of when the games have been released, but in the timeline of the game, this is the first time the Golden Freddy suit was haunted. That means, right before the bite of 87, they apprehended one of the 2 partners, and the partner probably didn't rat out the one in the Spring Bonnie suit. And probably because of the safety risks of the Spring Bonnie suit, and what happened with the Golden Freddy suit is when they decided to retire the suits. But of course, the purple guy didn't want to give up what he was doing. He liked doing it for whatever reason, which was basically luring and killing kids. So, and they were noting that the Spring Bonnie suit in the safe zone was being moved, and frequently had to remind people, do not bring patrons into the back room. So, that's probably how they figured out, hey, somebody is luring kids back there, and let me be honest, the phone guy sounds so visibly distressed that MatPat's original theory on he was the killer can't be true. Because I think by the time Five Nights at Freddy's 1 happened, both were already dead. It's just, well, One died in prison, and the other one was still trying to lure kids and got into the spring Bonnie suit. And it was probably a particularly wet day. The restaurant probably fell into disrepair a little bit because they were going to reopen it later, but until then there was nobody really taking care of it. So it was probably leaky, and Springtrap is born. Meaning, he did get karmatic justice, but the spirits probably didn't know. Now, if that's the case, why do the minigames in 3 show the spirits chasing around the purple guy? And chasing him into the suit? Well, what I think is going on that in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, you get the wherewithal to realize that maybe these phantoms are attached to the original murdered kids. Because it's established in this universe that around the time of 3, which is in like 2020 something, you are essentially well aware of the lore, meaning you know about the child murders, you know about the hauntings, you know about the suit stuffing, you probably know a bit about the bite of 87. That being said, you're trying to tell these kids as they're jumping at you as hallucinations now, because they're so probably weakened because the animatronic bodies don't really exist anymore, that the purple guy is trapped in that suit. He's dead. The other murderer is dead too. Because through 8-bit dreams, you're getting the information and you are trying to communicate with them. That's what I think the minigames are, is they're actually dreams you're having. Even the death ones in 2, but I think the reason they happened during death is because Scott didn't want them to intrude on the rest of the game. But he's doing it like after each chapter in the 3rd game, probably because he thought it would make more sense. I don't know. But they're dreams the robots are telling you. Keep in mind, this is all supernatural shit. This can happen. That being said, okay, you've got these dreams. You know these kids are basically being haunted. Are basically haunting because they were killed, and they don't know that both their murderers are actually dead. This said, why didn't Springtrap run around during the 1st and 2nd game? Well, you do get a hint of Springtrap in the 2nd game, because I think around the time of the bite of 87 is when the Springtrap suit also sprung open. Because I think it's around that time they decided to retire it. Because there's no real mention of it in the 1st game. But the main reason you don't actually see it is because that's also around the time they decide to seal up the safe room where Springtrap is. Now, I don't know if any personal effects were left in there, but they probably threw that fucking suit in there, too. Just to get rid of it. Or maybe it was there and they didn't know he died. Or maybe the police said, don't go in there for anything, just seal it off. It's a hazard now. Probably not realizing somebody was trapped in the Springtrap suit, because I don't think there was that much blood and gore coming out of it. Like, it's just for dramatic effect in the Atari game. But, and the reason I say this is because in the end of the 1st game, if you get a game over, all you see are your eyes sticking out. So, I don't think there's really that much gore leaking out, like, dramatically if the thing's sprung. I think it's, like, more slow and painful and not very messy at first, especially if you can't see it. So they probably didn't know he was trapped in there, which, noting the negligence, they probably didn't care. So, they sealed it up, and Springtrap was sealed in there for 30 or so years. That being said, okay, we've got a very old, rotted suit with a corpse in it that's either mummified or rotted away to nothing. How the fuck did it get loose? Well, they tell you in the beginning of the first game on night 2. We found one. They broke open the seal and got the suit. And since the purple guy has probably been stewing in there under supernatural conditions, because technically, in order to become a ghost, you have to have unfinished business or die before your time. And I'm pretty sure he died before his time, technically. And probably had unfinished business in that he wanted to keep killing kids even though his partner was dead. His partner probably wanted to keep killing kids too. That's why Golden Freddy kept popping up. Yeah, I'm pretty much saying there's no way to put those two to rest. I know people are saying, oh no, Golden Freddy's one of the haunted kids, and maybe it is, but I'm pretty much, there has to be two killers because both those suits were in use at the time of the murders. So, and they only say a yellow suit, so maybe they were switching off. So the police couldn't say it was the Golden Freddy or the Golden Bonnie suit used definitively because they're both yellow suits. And if all you see is the color and you don't see what it looks like, you don't know which one to catch. So they may have caught the one that was using Golden Freddy, while the one that was using Golden Bonnie got away for a while, tried to continue using Golden Bonnie, and, well, met a very sticky end. So basically, you have a pissed off murderer's ghost in an actual body. And it wants to keep killing. And it's probably at a point where it doesn't care what it kills as long as it kills. So that's why it's now going after you, because you're the only living thing it can go near right now, because technically Fright wasn't open yet. There wasn't a public. Which is probably why it's good that the place went up in flames, because if that thing got open to the public, there'd be a lot of disappearances and we'd be back to square one. And with a 4th game on the horizon, oh boy, we've got a problem. This could mean that now this thing is in the public, or it could mean that the ghosts of the children aren't actually at rest because they know they can't really get rid of the purple guy now. So maybe the animatronics have a new purpose. Maybe they aren't going to kill anyone to get revenge like they originally were, but they may be trying to protect people and scare them off from, Springtrap. That's probably why they were popping up as hallucinations and not actually killing you. They wanted you to run away. They wanted you just to go, nope, fuck this, and leave. Because then you wouldn't be in Springtrap's radar, because in 3, Springtrap was the only fatal one. All the others were, annoying more than anything else. Yeah, they caused errors and hallucinations and stuff, but I think that's more, come on, these are rotting corpses. They're gonna fuck with, shitty ventilation. They probably didn't mean to. It was probably just, a side effect of the fact that they are technically electronic ghosts now. So, but they probably wanted you to leave. They probably wanted you to run. Just get out of there. Book it. Do not stay. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Just run. Otherwise, Springtrap was going to kill you. That's my theory anyway. And honestly, I have a bad feeling the more Springtrap kills, the stronger he gets. So if Springtrap did manage to kill you, that would have started a chain reaction in a sense. So who knows how strong Springtrap will be in the 4th game, if there is a 4th game. Or hey, the movie might be the 4th chapter, and if it is, that could be interesting to see. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Bye!